and while they were in, and they could still be in those type of areas. And so that's when I hate using the term mimic, but I don't know a better term for it.
Egregore.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. So explain that, Jay.
So
yeah,
Bryce,
I'm like, what?
Okay, so there's the idea of an egregore, right? So an egregore is something that is powered by human belief, right? So technically, something like the tooth fairy,
Yeah.
right? Everybody, there's this belief. It's an example. It's not like, but the example of the tooth fairy, because like there's so much belief in it, and especially with little kids, because they truly, truly believe in it, right? So
Oh yeah.
the idea of an egregore is an entity created from that kind of belief, right? So the idea that the tooth fairy does actually exist in a certain way because it is believed by so many people to exist.
And there's also a pretty, I don't know how mainstream it is, but I think it's probably on YouTube. An experiment was conducted by 5 women, right? And these 5 women sat around and did a meditation exercise where they created a child, right? They were at the same time they would write it down. They were all thinking it, and something resembling that thing, that kid showed up, right, and began to like cause problems for them all, right? So like people were thinking like, oh, it is an example of Agregoria. Other people saying like, no, there was a evil spirit nearby that heard what they were saying
form of it
and came back and forth. Anyways, I mean, it gets into that stupid quantum physics, mechanics crap or whatever.
Yeah, there's a lot of substance to belief, right? That the whole thing we hear about voodoo, right, with zombies and voodoo dolls working and voodoo curses, right? Yeah. The power of belief is really strong, right? People can believe themselves to death, right? That's how voodoo curses work. If they truly, 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 then that is their whole worldview, and they grew up with that their whole life, and they believe that this witch doctor really does have power, right? And the witch doctor curses them, and they know that they've been cursed. They start to show symptoms of the curse. Yeah. Some people have actually just passed away by believing the fact that they were cursed, right?
Here's where I get myself in trouble. And Jesus said it too.
Oh no, here we go.
I'm a Christian, but Jesus said it too. Do you believe I can do this? Yes, then you're healed. All you have to do is but with Jesus, he would say all you have to do is have a mustard seed of faith that he could work with inside of you, right? Do you believe? Do you believe, right?
The power of belief is really strong. Like it can literally move armies and mountains, right? Mm-hmm. So like when you take a human who is really kind of the only thing that we know of that can actively shape probability, right? Can actively shape the future. There's power there, right? Of some sort. Like we don't really understand it 100%, but we do. Everybody kind of feels like, hey, look, there's something more to this in here than there is in, something else, right? Like we can plan and do all kind of crazy shit. So why would you not believe that there is an impression that we make kind of on reality as we live through it, right? So you were talking about poltergeist before. Think about someone who spent their whole life in a house and then dies there, with the kind of the impression that they've made on that space over a lifetime, right? And then they have an invader come into their house, right? Like this is where they have existed their whole existence.
Yeah.
So Brice, I'm going to follow up on that. Brice, did you manifest this ghost? By chance, do you think that, like I've said, have you wanted, I mean, not saying it doesn't make it real, like, did you want to see something?
I very well could have.
I don't think it was a want. I think some weird condition was met.
Because I did have my pants on, my white shirt that I wear underneath, my hat, and smoking a cigar. So that very well could have triggered
the condition.
That kind of exactly where that, patroller, the person who's on patrol during the battle or after the battle, that possibly died there of like maybe a stroke or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
That's what probably triggered was me wearing my stuff.
Yeah, because
I mean,
to close this out, because we're running out of time here, but to close this out, man, is that a lot of people are talking about, like we do everything on this channel, but a lot of people are talking about how they're mentally calling UFOs to them. Have you heard about this, right?
A little bit.
So like you said, you and your full kit, me and military people watching this know what we're talking about, like you and your Enigmites, a kit is when you're in your proper attire. You have in your full kit sitting there. You probably, man, you said it just rained, right?
It rained a little bit, but we were also right by the river too.
Yeah.
So we were camping. So here's the tents. The river was like literally right there.
Yeah, you must recreate the conditions, man. You know what I'm saying? And then like,
it would be interesting to see what the conditions were like whether it was raining or like. And
actually, it's funny you actually brought that up because in the battle it did rain a day before it started or a day or two it started, right? And then it was actually, how it's been warm and cold and stuff down here. So it was warm that week, and then it dropped down to like the 20s, whatever, on the 5th day of the battle. So, and that's how it was.
Well, Brice?
Yeah.
That was.
I think you experienced the quantum loop.
Yeah, you definitely came across something there, man. I'm like, so good story and good little history lesson. So you got to agree to come back, man. You're got to come back and like talk to us some more, man, and get it on there too, right? We're keeping our segments at 55 minutes, man, or like an hour tops, because humans can't, whatever. Humans can't pay attention. But yeah, Brice, good story, man. Way to come into it. Also, it's good history on this channel too, man. It fits into our genre, man. We talk about, I put a poll up. More people are asking us to do more history stuff. Me and Jay, some of our segments that we do, where, like I said, we go in there and we take something that's popular belief and we
the witch trials thing was my favorite because that was really cool.
I love the witch trials. Saying like that's another thing I do like to study on.
Some chick called me out. She had purple hair and I had to get involved. Anyways, nerds, if you want to see that, jump into the archives, EnigmaCast archives, dig in there and look for it. I can't remember the number, but it's in there somewhere. Brice Witherow, thank you for coming on the show, buddy. I want to have you back on again if you need to come on. Uncle Jay's Urban Legend. Jay, where can they find you, boy?
You can find me at 11dog Media, 11dog.com or 11dog.media.
There it is right there.
There it is.
And if you're looking for me, you found me. Because I'm working on being
we already know where to find.
I'm working on being more confident. I'm working on, being out there a little bit more, believing in myself some more. So do me a favor, losers and nerds. If you stuck around this long, hit the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up. If you disagreed with anything we said, type it in the comments and we will all prove you wrong for funsies and for free. If you got any specific questions on how to get into the Civil War reenactment lifestyles, leave them down there. Brice will hook it up, talk to you, or do whatever. I do know for a fact that stuff is probably not cheap, but you know what I'm saying? Maybe you can work.
It looks like it's a lot of fun though.
But it is a lot of fun though. I've done it for the last 4 or 5 years and I enjoy it every time.
Yeah. Maybe you can work your way into it. You know what I'm saying? So do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you know how we do around here. Brice, Jay, everybody, nerds, that's all you get for $1. And we're out.
That's all you get.
Subscribe now and turn on the notifications to join us on this extraordinary journey into the unknown.